Well, it's not just me, but the University of Maryland Center for Environmental Sciences, if you jump to the bottom there, market systems should be promoted in which buyers pay for results and not just the implementation of a practice. This requires more rigorous assessment of BMP performance. They're talking about basically saying, all right, I know your buffer is there, you said your buffer is there, but nobody's out there measuring. So they're allowing for specific measurable impacts to your waterways by allowing a new wastewater treatment plant and offsetting it with theoretical reductions that haven't been proved in any way. Point to point, they're going to tell you, this is based on the thing that got rid of acid rain. It was wonderful. And trust me, I know my voice sounds like I'm a little sarcastic and stuff. Heck, this is my personality. But there are points in here of things that could work, but the simplicity with which they're approaching it is what gives me this pause. They compare it to the...
Wetlands in Florida that didn't work.
What's that?
They tried that with wetlands in Florida?
They tried with wetlands in Florida. It's been tried for years in North Carolina. There is not one example of nutrient trading that has worked anywhere in the country. That's fact. Now, they will tell you that Pennsylvania has the most successful program in the nation. We've had 9 trades in the last 5 years. That's the most successful. Now, they want to jump from doing 9 trades to potentially doing thousands of trades. And I asked them, I was like, what does successful mean? And they were like, look, this works. This over here, this farmer fixed something up, and now the sewage treatment plant over here didn't have to pay a fortune to upgrade the plant. So it worked. Successful. And I still said, well, but that was 9, that's 9 trades. You really think that's successful enough to go to thousands of trades? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, if my kid was playing Little League and he did really good, I wouldn't put him on the Phillies the next day. It might have helped this last round here, but anyhow, so the idea of trading point to point makes sense. There's a measurable pipe here, there's another measurable pipe here, but the non-point source has not been very well verified. And just to let you know, also a recent report came out from the USGS that showed that all the rivers that were making improvements in wastewater treatment plants were seeing significant improvements, while the Delmarva Peninsula, the major home of CAFOs within the Chesapeake, has made little improvement or has even gotten worse. Particularly the Choptank River has continued to get worse. But what are we really trading here? Wastewater, they want to trade N's for N's and P's for P's. Nitrogen is a problem, so they make it a big N. And then they say, I can remove nitrogen over here. So if I can remove it over here, I can add it over here. So if I remove ag runoff, I can add wastewater treatment plant effluent. But you're not trading N's for N's. You are trading everything that comes out with that pound of N. Now, I am still not saying, and this is something I'll talk to you about later, I am not saying that I know which is worse. Some types of ag runoff can have arsenic in them and can have, if we put in a buffer, that might remove herbicides, pesticides, sediment, that might do a lot of good. But I haven't seen anybody be able to evaluate this and compare it to what's coming out with the pound of nitrogen from a wastewater treatment plant, which includes estrogen, hormones, Viagra, Prozac. You eat it, you got it. Anything that's going into human beings, anything that's going through our industries, anything that's going through the hospital is all going to the wastewater treatment plant, either ends up in the sludge or the water that's going directly in. Oh, and by the way, they propose that farm fields will be the place to accept all this extra sludge as we grow. That's the actual plan. Here's something that really cracks me up. And tell me if I'm going too far or getting too technical on this, but it's a very important thing that almost everybody is in agreement with because nobody's looked at the details. They're all like, yes, this is a simple plan. But they want to, if you want to put this new development in Peach Bottom, and I'm the developer, I'm going to come in, I'm going to put 200 new houses in. To put a new wastewater treatment plant in, I have to make sure that I've got 5 years worth of credits purchased from some kind of agricultural operation. I purchase those 5 years worth of credits. Then I have to sign a document that says that I will be able to get credits for the lifespan of the project. So the lifespan of a neighborhood. While there might be some change in the buildings, I haven't seen too many times where a neighborhood comes and then goes again and turns it back into farm field.
Yeah.
So once you put these plants in, they're there. And all the developer has to do is sign a paper saying, and you know, I wish everyone good health, but the developer's 50, 60 years old. How is that person supposed to say 100 years from now I can get the credits? And not only on that side, but nobody's given any commitment to credit availability. The Farm Bureau hasn't. No Department of Agriculture anywhere has said these contracts are, well, actually they are looking at something in Virginia to do something similar to this, but definitely not in Pennsylvania, that the credits would be perpetual, almost that you would be buying a 100-year easement on a buffer. That's not what is happening here. You never know what's going to happen on a farm. We had 1 million acres of farmland that got taken out of preservation programs because of the ethanol rush. Because people said, oh, I need another extra 10 feet. 10 extra 10 feet of corn is going to be worth a lot more to me than that CREP payment, or that payment for preserving my land. So credits, availability credits can be tied to the crop prices, real estate market, and you're talking about two different reverse trends. You're talking about human growth and or population growth and development constantly going up. Where do we develop when we want a new development?
Rural areas.
Rural areas, and in this area mostly
Farmland.
farmlands. So the exact lands that we are expecting not only to get these credits from, but to accept our sludge, to accept our animal waste. We are constantly seeing a reducing amount of agricultural lands while we are creating a bigger burden on those lands. And it's not just the new wastewater treatment plant. All these different entities or sectors are looking for credits. Existing wastewater treatment plants, they don't want to make expensive upgrades, so they want credits. Expanding them, need credits. New ones, need credits. Municipal stormwater, they're going to start cracking down on the runoff coming off of urban areas. Well, it costs 200 times more to try and fix urban runoff than it does to try and fix runoff off of a farm. Now, depending on the chemistry, this is one of the areas where I think it would make sense when the cost is 200 times higher to fix something over here. But, once again, runoff off of a city has different components than runoff off of ag. So we have to be looking at these details. But new industrial sources, electric utilities want to use it. And of course, it depends on what you want to do. Somebody earlier mentioned something about exportation of manure. So right now, the credits that are lined up and raring to go, the people that are saying, as soon as you give me a chance, I will export my manure over the hill and dump it in the Delaware. I guarantee you. Or, worse yet, maybe, depending on the science again. But they dump it on the other side, which is the Allegheny, that goes into the Mississippi, that has an even bigger dead zone in the Gulf of Mexico than we have in the Chesapeake Bay. So we got to think and make decisions about sustainability here, and actually do math. I won't burden you with this, but I will throw a crazy thing out there. The Susquehanna River and the lands around the Susquehanna River are so saturated now with phosphorus in many places that wetlands can actually cause pollution. Because when the phosphorus is saturated and the water is saturated, it releases the phosphorus like Miracle-Gro. It changes the chemical form of it, and it releases it just like squirting Miracle-Gro into the river. And this is what I just said about the contingent on sale. They're ready to dump manure as soon as possible over into the Delaware. And what we don't know yet is, will it be legal to export manure for credit and then fertilize with sludge for cash?
Wait a minute, wait, don't take it down.
The no-till, I got a lot to learn about no-till, I'll tell you that. Because the changes in farming that have occurred due to no-till, we don't understand yet at all. The changing over, because we're using less atrazine than we used to, but we're using now glyphosate and a couple of other additional chemicals for the no-till that we haven't even evaluated yet. So yeah, I need schooled on the no-till. If you.
I don't know if it ain't that. Except that the pheasant are no longer around.
But the pheasant are no longer around. Well, yeah, we got no grasslands around. And this is the one that cracks me up. All the proponents of nutrient trading have told me that there are powerful tools available to the citizens.
Yeah.
I'm like, does that mean you're going to be doing the enforcement? I don't have any extra time. My God, this is ridiculous. I did a similar presentation down at the Chesapeake Bay Foundation with a room full of people. And I was like, please, if you got an extra hour or two a week to work on this, raise your hand.
I'm going to tell you, the
What?
newest one. You know who's going to be doing the enforcement?
Who?
Farm Bureau.
Oh,
That's the
sweet.
latest, that's the latest. We got a call in.
So now we got an insurance company.
DEP
Now we got an
assured us.
insurance lobbying company.
DEP assured us that Farm Bureau is going to call Mr. Gemmel and talk to him.
Oh, right, yeah, that's right. I hadn't heard that.
True story.